Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news. Now guys, the NFL season is always full of surprises, and this past weekend's game between the Steelers and the Vikings was no different. It's one of those moments that really gets fans talking, not just because of the game itself, but because of a decision that's sparking debate across the league. Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin, who's known for his strategic mind and leadership, faced a lot of criticism after what many are calling a controversial decision late in the game. And honestly, that decision might just have bigger implications than most of us realized at the moment. So, let's set the scene. The Steelers were in Dublin, Ireland, playing at Croke Park, which already is a unique and exciting setting for an NFL game. It's a beautiful stadium, packed with passionate fans, and the atmosphere was electric. Pittsburgh had been battling hard all game. The Vikings had scored a touchdown with just over 2 minutes remaining, making the score 24-21, with Minnesota trying to mount a comeback. The Vikings, after scoring, went for the onside kick but failed to recover it, giving the Steelers a prime opportunity to run out the clock. It was a crucial moment. Now, this is where things get interesting. The Steelers took possession of the ball at their own 40-yard line, with a chance to ice the game with just one more first down. It was a critical 3rd and 1 situation. And here's where Coach Tomlin's decision raised eyebrows. Instead of going for the risky, but potentially game-sealing, play by trying to pick up that yard on 4th down, Tomlin made the decision to punt the ball away. Instead of going for it on 4th and 1, he chose to play it safe, trusting his defense to hold the Vikings and give his team a chance to secure the win. Now, for many fans and analysts, this was seen as a bold, even controversial move. Going for it on 4th and 1 in such a crucial moment, especially when you're in Minnesota territory, seems like the obvious choice, right? You've got Kenneth Gainwell running behind a solid offensive line, and the game is on the line. But Tomlin decided to give the ball back to Minnesota with just over a minute left on the clock, trusting his defense to do the job. And surprisingly, it worked. The Steelers managed to hold the Vikings and they secured the win 24-21. But the decision itself, it's what really got everyone talking. Let's talk about the reactions. On the NFL broadcast, Greg Olsen, one of the top analysts, didn't hold back. He called the decision insane and really emphasized how obvious it should have been to go for it. Olsen said, "This, to me, I'm not even considering. It's a no-brainer. You get half a yard, and the Minnesota Vikings never possess the ball ever again." That's a pretty strong statement. Olsen argued that you simply cannot let a 3rd and short situation scare you away from making the aggressive choice. He pointed out that the Steelers had been effective all day, with Kenneth Gainwell running behind the offensive line, and that trusting your offense in that moment was the logical move. Joe Davis and Olsen both expressed disbelief at Tomlin's decision to take a delay of game penalty and then punt, instead of going for the win. Olsen even mentioned that even if the Steelers had lost, he would still think the decision was wrong. That's how much controversy there was around this call. Fans on social media and analysts alike voiced their frustrations, many feeling that Tomlin missed a golden opportunity to seal the game on 4th down, especially with the Vikings having no timeouts remaining and the Steelers' defense having played well all game. Now, I want you to pause here for just a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let's continue with the big reveal. Despite all the criticism, the Steelers came out of that game with a victory. And that's what ultimately matters in the NFL, right? A win is a win, no matter how you get there. But this decision by Mike Tomlin has sparked a lot of debate about his coaching philosophy, especially in crunch time. Some say he played it safe because he trusts his defense too much, which has been a hallmark of the Steelers' identity for years. Others believe that in a situation like that, especially when your offense is clicking and your running game is effective, you need to be bold and go for the jugular. The interesting thing is that Tomlin has always been a coach who emphasizes discipline, smart play, and minimizing risks. Over the years, we've seen him make some of the most unconventional calls, but also some of the most successful ones. His ability to adapt has kept the Steelers competitive for nearly 2 decades now. But sometimes, even the best coaches face criticism for decisions that don't seem to align with conventional wisdom. This particular call is now being dissected by fans, media, and former players, all trying to understand if it was a mistake or a calculated risk that just didn't pay off. And let's not forget, this game was also a showcase of the Steelers' resilience. Kenny Pickett played well, showing growth and leadership under pressure. He threw for 2 touchdowns and managed to keep the offense moving when it mattered most. Kenneth Gainwell, in particular, was impressive with his running, helping Pittsburgh control the clock and keep the Vikings' offense at bay. The defense, led by some solid performances, especially in the red zone, made sure that the Vikings' late surge didn't turn into a comeback. So, while the coaching decision is the hot topic, there's also a lot to be proud of with how this team responded on the field. Looking ahead, the Steelers are now sitting at a promising 2-2 record. And even with the controversy, they are still very much in the thick of the AFC playoff chase. The division, as always, is competitive. The Ravens, Browns, and Bengals are all vying for the top spot, but Pittsburgh's mix of young talent and veteran leadership keeps them in the conversation. Kenny Pickett's development is crucial, and he's shown that he can handle the pressure, even in tough moments. The offensive line, which has been a concern at times, seems to be improving, and the running game, led by Gainwell, is one of the bright spots of the season so far. But what does this decision say about Mike Tomlin's approach moving forward? Will he continue to lean on his defense in critical moments, or will he learn to embrace more aggression when the opportunity arises? It's a question that every Steelers fan should be asking themselves. Tomlin's legacy is built on consistency and winning, but in the NFL, sometimes you have to take risks to truly maximize your chances of a deep playoff run. We've seen coaches in the league who are more aggressive, more daring, and often those are the teams that make deep postseason runs. It's an ongoing debate, and this game has just added fuel to that fire. One thing is clear, Mike Tomlin is still one of the most respected coaches in the NFL. His ability to motivate, strategize, and adapt is unparalleled in many ways. But even the best coaches aren't immune to criticism, especially when a game's final moments are scrutinized under a microscope. This decision will be analyzed for weeks, maybe months, and it's going to be a talking point among Steelers fans and NFL pundits alike. In the end, Pittsburgh's victory might have silenced some critics, but it also leaves a lingering question about whether that conservative call was the right move. For now, the team's focus is on building momentum, improving in key areas, and preparing for the next challenge. The AFC North remains tough, and every game counts. The Steelers' resilience, combined with the strategic decisions of Mike Tomlin, will continue to define this season. Fans should stay optimistic but also critically analyze every move because that's what makes the NFL so exciting. It's a league of fine margins, bold decisions, and legendary comebacks. And Pittsburgh is right in the middle of it. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news.